So, game 2, Radiowaves versus Rail. In the first game, we saw that Radiowaves was able to assert his authority on this match by parking outside his opponent's base, preventing sort of expos and things like that, and eventually turning up with a bunch of mutas to annoy his opponent to death. So this is Radiowaves, the Zerg, in the sort of top right position, and on the green Terran in the down in the bottom left is Rail. Let's see if Rail will go for a queued up double supply depot opening again. Not sure how beneficial that was in the first game, but it was certainly different. Radiowaves loves this position to build a spawning pool. Just make sure it's in the way. Why not build it here? Just cause maximum disruption to your workers. So anyway, production tab is here. Look, we can see what's going on. We can. Let me get the... Yeah. Let me get that stuff going on. Ooh, yeah. Look, it's all kicking off in this game already. Radiowaves loves this position for the Evo chamber as well. This looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? Awfully familiar. So will it be similar builds from these players? It's similar builds, isn't it? It's the double queued up 2 depot opening. Well, that is utterly outrageous. Given the cost of these queued up depots, why instead of queuing, why not just like build 3 barracks across here? They're A, bigger, so they'll finish your wall sooner, and B, they're quite useful because you can build marines out of them. I mean, you're about to go up to sort of 50 something supply in hand. You're just queuing up marines. Okay, good. This is excellent. I shouldn't be too harsh on these players. This is a noob league after all. And, Rail is conscientiously building stuff. So, that is absolutely key to winning a game of StarCraft. Build stuff, build things. Build units, and units are being built. Build supply depots so that you don't get supply blocked. Those are being built. Build something in this gap so that these actually have a use in life. Over here, the Zerg is researching metabolic boost, so we will have those fast lings up. Look at this, a lair coming down quite early, the lair. Not even an expo yet, although I think the expo we are about to see. Ooh! Fancy APM boosting going on there. So the expo comes down. The Evo chamber has been finished for a while. No upgrades yet. So you've got to question that, don't you? You've got to question that. What is its purpose in this build? I don't know. Metabolic boost, crucial, really, isn't it? Crucial. To be honest, even if I'm playing roaches, I still get metabolic boost because at some point in the game you're going to go, oh look, I've got a lot of larvae, I've got a lot of gas, a lot of minerals but no gas. Let's just hold down the Z button for a while and run about the map with some fastlings. So yes, these 2 marines should be able to hold this as long as there isn't a gap in the wall. There isn't. That's beautiful. Get the worker on repair though. Get the worker on repair. You need to be repairing this stuff because otherwise the lings will see it off. These marines are going to hold that pretty handily. But do repair this stuff. You don't want them nibbling away at it. So what I think would be great to see from the Zerg player, he's been to the top of the ramp, he's seen that there's a wall, he's seen that there are enough marines behind the wall to basically hold Zerglings off all day long. You've got an Evo chamber, why not send an overlord across here, leave him somewhere here, turn him into a drop lord and just ferry all these lings up into here and then run into the mineral line and be all like, surprise, because that'd be awesome. Who knows if we'll see that or not. Factory has been built by the Terran player, and that's great. You've sealed this whole section off, so go nuts. Drop and expand in this location. Drop and expand in this location. Drop and expand everywhere. because nothing can get in and annoy you. Get some tech labs done. A tech lab on this will allow a siege tank, and a siege tank parked up here, you know, maybe one here, is going to be able to defend this very, very well against most stuff while you just macro like a boss. So there's the expo over in this location. Hang on. No, wait. Yeah, in this location. I'd like to see one over here as well. Oh, where's the scan? The scan is here. So he sees that his opponent has got a base right here. Did he also scan this area? Did he? I don't know, man. No, didn't. So unfortunately, that is not the main, so doesn't get to see any tech. And had he scanned this area, he would see that there's a Hydra den down. He would also see that this Evo chamber is researching something. So this Hydra den is useful, but Hydras need something robust in front of them. Very rare really to have Hydras on their own because they're a bit squishy. They are classed as light, so you know, something like a siege tank will obliterate Hydras very, very quickly. Hydras, however, have huge DPS. Their damage output is really, really something, and they've got a good range as well. So a significant number of Hydras can kill stuff very, very fast indeed. So what I would like to be seeing, is some roaches to stand in front of the Hydras to take those tank shots in the face on behalf of the Hydras. We're just this is Radiowaves' view, by the way. Yeah, this is what he's doing. He's just looking around. Where are my Hydras? Yep, there they are. Oh, the big Overlord Bloom. Yeah, that's a flock, all right. Where will I send those to? Somewhere over here. Yes, Overlords. A little bit supply blocked, perhaps there. This is Rail's view. He's watching these SCVs do stuff. Yeah. That's still over there. That's still there.
Add-on complete.
Look, I've got some buildings here. Nope, look at the idle buildings. Look at them. Ooh, drops the scan, and this time does better. This time sees, well, all sorts of stuff. Saw the Hydra den. Saw not much else. But there isn't much else to see. So he knows he's going to be against Hydras, and that's useful. All information is useful information, isn't it? Probably knows that these are sitting here, so I wouldn't at all mind just send in a siege tank and some marines, and if you time it just right, you know, just as the siege tank sieges up, the marines start shooting and the siege tank blap, and you'd kill loads of those before they'd have a chance to run away, and that'd just be good. Yeah, so if I'm honest, I think things looking pretty good for the Terran here. You know, this expo is up. Please drop another. Oh yeah. Shoot them all. Needs to drop another one over here, but then is in a really powerful position because this front is so easy to defend now that you've built a complete wall across here. So really needs to be teching up like mad. Needs to be getting these upgrades out. Needs to be building something from every one of these things. So a tech lab on the starport you don't often see unless somebody's going to be throwing out Banshees or Ravens perhaps. Yeah, so that's a little unusual. The more common add-on for a tech lab, for a starport, is the reactor, so that you can pump out medevacs 2 at a time. Yeah, fusion core though. Fusion core. Are we gonna see some battle cruisers? Are we, Rel? Are we going to see battle cruisers? Please build some battle cruisers. That would be nice. Battle cruisers are always fun. Nidus! Oh! So here's the Nidus. In it are a whole bunch of Lings, a whole bunch of Hydras, all the Lings. When is Rail going to see this? When is it going to happen? Is it going to happen now? Is it? Yeah, it is. This could be game changing, really, couldn't it? These guys need to move fast. They need to get over here. They need to shut this down as soon as possible. That's a lot of Hydras. Good amount of damage output. Get your siege tanks into position. Siege them up. Does he have stim? I don't think he does. This could be nasty. Those siege tanks. Yeah, I don't know about stutter stepping siege tanks. It's a bit weird. But he's going to see this all off. He's going to clean it up. And that was expensive for the Zerg. Very expensive, I would think. Still got this queen. Didn't manage to get a creep tumor down, because that would have been quite good fun. But did he got the command center, did he? Got the command center? Oh, well, in that case, I take it all back. Very expensive for the Terran. Very expensive indeed. That's bad times to lose the CC. I didn't... How did I miss that? Was I like... Am I literally just the worst observer in the history of StarCraft? Just really bad at observing. It could be the case. Who knows? Yeah, so Nidus worm into the back. I like that a lot. You do need to kill these. So, you know, as the Zerg player, once you're down to that last couple of lings, is it really worth running them into the mineral line? Or do you want to try and just run around your opponent's base and get as much information about what they're doing as possible? I don't know. Maybe you kill an SCV, maybe you don't. But that is massive. To take out that expand is huge, and we can see the damage it's done. Look, the income for the Terran player is, you know, a little over half of the income for the Zerg player, and that's massive. That means this Zerg player can just go absolutely ham on production, holding down the H button. Please build a Roach Warren though. I want to see roaches to be in front of these rather than paired up with lings. You know, lings are great, but lings also pretty squishy. So you know, you need something that can take tank shots in the face if you're going to end this game, because he does have a fair amount of tanks, a fair old amount. Yeah. So building this again. Ooh, that's interesting. That's not quite. It's off center, isn't it? It needs to be here. Doesn't matter though. Yeah, I'd like to see another one come down over here as well. You know, that really should have happened a bit sooner. If you are concerned about the Nidus play, really what you need is to spread out your buildings, spread out depots around the edge so that the Nidus can't come down without you seeing it. These things are just going to get shot to bits. Literally shot to bits. Beautiful. Yeah, so who's got what? Let's have a peek at the army supply. As you can see, relatively even. The income, however, is well ahead for the Zerg. The Zerg has got a little bit of bank, not too much. The Zerg has got a lead in worker supply. But, you know, given the stage of the game we're at, I'd like the Zerg to have more workers. I'd like this to be saturated for a start. I'd like there to be a third, maybe even a fourth. Look, you know, only 5 out of 14 workers mine in here. I mean, what's the... I don't quite get the reason behind that. I think that's a bit ambitious, isn't it? Right there. He sees it, but you can't attack it until it you know, it's classed as burrowed until, I don't know, until some point in time. So now you can attack it, and you need to, because here they come. So gonna clean this up very easily indeed. Those tanks doing an excellent job. Yeah, I think that was a little ambitious as a location. You know, why not somewhere where there isn't a load of buildings and you're going to get seen straight away? I don't know. Anyway, you know, these 3 queens here should be spreading creep. Where are all those scans going? Did you just like scan? What did you scan? Oh, okay. Scan the middle as well to check. That's a bit better. Yeah, it's actually within sight, but you know. So we're going to see another Nidus. We're going to see a whole bunch more things come popping out of this. Look how much stuff is in there. Loads and loads. And, you know, they might do okay this time. Again, look how quickly these Hydras take damage, though. You know, if you had some roaches up in front of them, the roaches, I mean, you can shoot roaches all day and they're just, they laugh at tank fire. They, you know, they mock it, really. So the Terran is going to clean this up again. And you know, this is going to start getting expensive for the Zerg player. He is only mining off 2 bases, and even then not particularly effectively. So you know, he can't really afford to keep doing that. Yeah, Zerg player. As much as I like the Nidus play, and I do, I'm a big fan. You can't really afford to keep sacrificing units in that way. So the Terran player is still building SCVs. He's got SCVs coming out. Hopefully we're going to see him saturate this mineral line pretty shortly. Here is the next batch of everything going into the Nidus network. Is it going to come out in this area? It certainly looks like it is. I think if I'm, it's worth noting that the Zerg must have sight of where the Nidus is going to come out. So typically they get that from an Overlord. So if you're the Terran player in this position and the Niduses keep on popping up, all you really need is a Viking or perhaps a Liberator, and you can just scout that around the perimeter of your base, and it's going to shoo away or kill, ideally, any Overlord that is trying to give the Zerg sight, and that will end your Nidus problem. Okay, finally this third base coming down for the Zerg player. I'd like to see similar for the Terran player. The orbital command does have energy, so drop some mules and see what we can see. There's the Nidus in it, slightly fewer this time. Bunch of Lings, bunch of Hydras again. What are the upgrades like? No, that's units. The upgrades are pretty good. So these Zerg units that are coming out are reasonably tough. If he's going to get them all out this time, then he can think a little bit about what order to send them into the tank barra. But the Terran player this time has these sieged up, and that is the correct way to do things. So this is going to turn nasty pretty fast, and once again the Zerg player is going to lose everything. So if we look at the units lost tab, units killed, 166 units killed is pretty brutal. If I look at the units lost tab up on the top left here, we can see that the Zerg has lost significantly more units in resources in terms of minerals spent on lost units. However, does at most of the, well, has had for most of the game a superior income. That is changing at this stage though, with this unsaturated, these unsaturated bases. So there is a third up, but again, not that many workers actually mining. And these Nidus plays are good, but really you need to saturate these bases. You know that your Terran opponent is kind of pinned back, is at home behind their wall. So what's to stop you drop in expands here, and really holding down the macro button hard. Here's the first battlecruiser being built. So I like a battlecruiser. Who doesn't like a battlecruiser? Everybody likes the old cattle bruisers, don't they? Loads of fun. So we'll see how many of those come out onto the map. The Terran player also really needs to build a medevac, because look, a lot of these units are very bruised, very injured indeed, and it'd be nice to see those get healed up so that you can get maximum value from your biological units. Okay, this Overlord still looking for a place to drop the next Nidus. And he is going to find it. So, as I was mentioning before, I'd like the Terran player to build something to shoot this Overlord. This battlecruiser, don't just park it here. Get it scouting backward and forward back here. Find the thing that is giving your Zerg opponent sight. Of course, it might be the case that the Terran doesn't know that you need sight to plant a Nidus worm. They might not be familiar with that type of tech. Let's have it. So this Overlord, in he comes. We're going to see the Nidus pop up somewhere about here, and that's okay. How many things will be in it this time? A large number of things by the looks of it. A large number indeed. So the noise that this makes when it pops up, every player can hear, so the Terran will be aware that it is somewhere, and can probably, well, now he knows exactly where it is. Needs to run these workers away. Doesn't want to lose too many of these. Need to run those away. And in come these Marines, but they're not shooting. Oh, he's trying to focus down the Nidus itself, is he? I don't know. It looks like he was shooting at the Nidus and then changed his mind, and that wasn't a good change of mind. You had to either be shooting these or shooting the Nidus, but not shoot one for a while and then switch to the other, because look, this didn't die. Had you killed it, you could have prevented some of those units coming out. Had you not focused it at all, you might have successfully destroyed. Oh, these Hydras will make short work of this battlecruiser. But they're not focusing it. They're getting shot to bits by this bunker. Yeah, so, and indeed, once again, the Terran clears it up, but again, at the cost of this expand. And the Terran has a pitifully low income at this time. Ooh, okay, hang on, wait, what? Zero, look. 0. Better. Meanwhile, the Zerg is mining like a boss. So, bit of a fiddly setup for the Terran player. Don't forget to go and kill this. You've got the battle cruiser, just send it sneakily across and just pop, because look, that's almost dead. Really, the bigger story in this game is that our Terran player is not really being aggressive enough. You've got a Zerg that keeps coming at you, and you're kind of sitting back and defending that each time. Look at the positions that these Niduses are popping up in. A siege tank is very good at killing a Nidus. So if you'd split your army up a little bit so that you had siege tanks in spread positions about the place, then as soon as the Nidus pops up, there's going to be a siege tank there to answer it. There's going to be some Marines surrounding that siege tank, and you'll probably be able to hold the Nidus until such times as the main bulk of your army gets there to utterly shut it down. So, okay. Once again, the Zerg late game is going for a transition to air. We've got these corruptors, and generally, unless you're playing against air, you don't need corruptors. They don't really shoot down. Oh, look at that. They only shoot air, so normally their purpose in life is to be turned into broodlords unless you're playing against air. Oh, it's almost like Rill could hear me in some sort of telepathic beam from the future. This lone battle cruiser, these poor Marines with no medevac. I'm not sure this is going to go so well. Although, do bear in mind, corruptors can't shoot Marines. So let's see what happens when they turn up. Needs to focus on these. There's too many mutas, so this isn't going to go that well. Marines are pretty good against mutas, and the muta's probably focusing there on the battle cruiser. But nevertheless, there's just too much there. Can he get that last muta? It did. It was, to be honest, a reasonable exchange for the numbers of units involved. And, Rail taps out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the story there really was, if you've got an opponent who's penning you in, keeping you blocked off on a map like this, well, you've got 3 bases. So, if you want to play, and you are playing defensively, well, then make sure you're defended in your 3 positions, moderately. Bear in mind, the defense that you have in any one position doesn't need to be able to beat your opponent's entire army. It just needs to keep it busy until your army can get there. Terran's pretty good at playing defensively. Get these 3 bases up and mining, and just build up a mighty force that is then going to walk across the map and destroy your opponent. But if you are going to do that, you're going to need more than just the 1 factory, the 2 barracks. You need more production buildings, and you need more static defenses to see off this type of thing. So, a siege tank, missile turret will prevent the Overlord from granting sight, those types of things. And, on top of that, even if you're playing defensively, there is nothing to stop you sending medevacs across the map and dropping Marines in your opponent's mineral line just to slow him down, just to disrupt his play, just so that you put your opponent onto the back foot a little bit. Anyway, 2 games to 0. That's it for that best of 3. Radiowaves victorious. GG.